I'm Praful, and this is Abhi, my co-founder, and we love dogs. I mean, I'm obsessed to the point that my parents told me my first sounds I made were me barking to talk to another dog. Actually, to a dog. I'm not a dog myself. But you can see how much I'm obsessed with them. The thread from my first time speaking till now has created an obsession that's created Sarama. Now, many of us in the audience, or those in the audience that have dogs, know that we continuously and constantly talk to our dogs. This is my dog, Kai. And before I left San Francisco, she said, "Don't fuck this up." No, but what she is saying is, we're talking to her about her best friend, Millie, who's also a puppy. They grew up together. And that head tilt shows two things. One, she engages and responds to us, but deep intelligence about what we're saying. Because we never taught her the word Millie or how to manipulate herself onto the couch when guests come over. But she's learned that. Because for thousands of years, dogs have understood us better than we've understood ourselves. They understand our eye gaze. They understand finger pointing. They understand when we're about to get sick, our emotions. In fact, many people, if you ask them, won't date or befriend someone their dogs don't like. There's always this nagging feeling, though, we get. Do we understand them as well as they understand us? And more people are growing concerned with this question. In the United States, there's now more dogs in households than there are children. And this is a growing global trend. In fact, we're treating our dogs more like children. If you look at it, over the last decade, we're spending billions of dollars. The top 10 startups alone account for $5 billion of spend, massive growth, and tech-like margins. And there's a part of our market that just hasn't worked well. There's a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of people, but it's pet health. So what happens when we don't understand our dogs, one of two things happens. Either we take them to the vet way too often, anytime there's a whimper, anytime something's going wrong, and what happens is that our pets get so stressed out, and we throw away money, or the opposite. We never take them. Exacerbate simple problems, turn into catastrophes or medical emergencies. And what that leads to is that recently at a dog daycare, there was a survey, 86% of people's dogs who had kennel cough were accidentally brought in, which means that other dogs could actually be impacted. And that means that more and more people could lead to missed signals, which goes to 47% of people going into debt in the United States because of a pet medical emergency. So we have missed data, missed signals, missed care. We have all these issues happening. And now your analysts can thank you because we created your LP memo for you. So we've been studying this problem for quite a long time. We now have the solution to how do we solve this. Because audio is key. In fact, we've built a system around this alone because you can get more from one agitated whimper than thousands of data points from movement activity trackers. So we've built a system for that. We have an audio sensor that constantly collects data. We have an app that continues to give you insights when they're needed. And we have the most powerful foundational models built on dog data sets. In fact, we're actually ahead of most of the world in this space. So we're really excited to announce, actually we're excited more for you to witness history than I am for me to share this, but I'll do this anyway. We have the Lingo collar. Now, during Betaworks, we entered with software that JB politely described as the worst thing he's seen. And we now have hardware we've built with the Lingo collar. Now, this can go to this is our beta build that we built at Betaworks, and we are going to be able to spread this to more and more dog parents around. And then next year, we're going to have the full product you see on the dog right there. So we built this quickly because it's using off-the-shelf components, microphone, temperature sensor, movement data, and GPS. But what's exciting about what we've done is how we've incorporated it into the consumer experience. We have key insights we can get straight to you when you need it, because this runs the data on the collar through our advanced models. So our models are built on dog data sets. I'll show you behind the curtain, because they're all here, and we thought we might give you a show. Ours our architecture. Now, it doesn't really mean much, so we'll go down to the key insights that we provide that go into every one of our models. We have a vocal ID that tells us it's your dog, not your neighbor's. Emotions, because that's what matters when we need to decide on what's next. And context, because it matters more that it's a doorbell that your dog is going after or that they're whimpering when we're asleep. So we know the signals that matter. And the big advantage that we have is all this gets displayed in the collar itself. So it's not just you or with your phone, it's also people around you that know how your dog is feeling. So the way this works, this is a visual representation of our vocal models because it's a lot easier than running scripts on stage. And this allows us to see the dogs differently, the objects around, and what's going on. We have another model that we've built around emotion because agitation is a leading indicator of distress and other symptoms going on. And so we have a glow on the camera. We have a glow on the collar when the emotion is for different purposes. Playful is green. Agitated is a leading indicator. Loneliness indicates that there's separation anxiety or something else going on. So why don't we just see how this all works? It's cool to talk about it. Let's show it. So this is a video of a German Shepherd that's barking pretty loudly. It's usually something that scares people. But we came up with playful. And how is that? Because ultimately, that dog isn't looking to kill someone. It's looking to play with the person behind the camera. And I can go into some of the complexities behind this off stage, but let's show an example where it would be scary. All right, okay. I think you can see the difference. It's wildly different in body language and vocalization. But we operate on the vocalization, so that way it's always evident to you. Now, dogs, if all they were doing is barking and different emotions, that would be okay. But there's a bigger challenge. They make noises all the time. The first time I found out about a reverse sneeze, I thought my dog would choke to death. When I thought they were clearing their throat, it turned out to be a much bigger illness. And so let's show what we have with the collar itself and what happens when we have the vocal system running. So we have a video of a dog hacking it up. We're going to connect the device to our system. You can see that we filter out what you say because there's a privacy promise that we won't capture what you say. But in fact, I don't care what you have to say. Your dog is more important to us. All right. You can hear the dog in the background hacking away. And then maybe when the, okay. So we have the daily summary. We took off the vocal ID because we wanted to show you this, but it shows us Kai is coughing, has Bordetella, which is the technical name. We get past the emotions, and we'll see a card where the health card is. When you see the health card, okay, what I did not include before is we actually have an entire back-end veterinary team that helps support all of our AI models. Because it's one thing to give you the right insights with technology, but it's a whole other thing that you have a care team behind you that can take care of this. The most exciting thing about this is California passed a bill earlier this year. You no longer need a physical location to provide veterinary services. And so now this is a whole other stream of activity we can have. And at the end, they tell you you should go and get the antibiotics, and it will be something soon we can provide directly. This is also going to spread around the United States, so it'll be a system that we can all use very soon. We're creating a digital baseline with the app so that not only do you know what's happening with your dogs, but when you go to the vet and they ask, hey, how long does this happen? How often has it been going on? You have it all at the palm of your hand. And that it's always available to help you make decisive actions. You're not just guessing every time. And I've met the most dog-obsessed people in the world. I've been working on AI for 10 years. I built one of the first autonomous vehicles in New Jersey, helped the state Senate pass the bill unanimously, talk to me about how Google screwed that up, but it's fine. No hard feelings. Abby, my partner, we're co-founders of this company. She's worked at multiple multi-billion-dollar companies, helping them establish new markets and generating billions in revenue, not just in market cap. Then we have Sam Barkin. It's a generational thing, right? He's our animal cognition researcher. He works with the preeminent pioneer of animal cognition and research. She's written the foundational text in the space. If you haven't seen her or heard of her work, her name is Diana Reese. She actually has a nonprofit with Google called the Interspecies Internet, and it's advancing a lot of the development in the space. I told you, no hard feelings with Google. And Peter Berman, he's written 2 papers in bioacoustics that have helped establish both Earth Species Project and Project SETI. They have millions of dollars in animal communication work. And so he's our bioacoustics founding engineer. So some of you might be skipping ahead to the end about where we're going. But this year, we've built health models. We've built a way to understand what is a good day and what's a day that needs investigation. But ultimately, our North Star is to create a joint language between dogs and people. And it is possible, because by 2030, we'll be speaking to our dogs and other animals. What was once considered a sci-fi experiment in a cartoon, we're making real. And so if you're ready to join our journey, you have a dog, then join our beta list of 100 other people. Actually, we have a backlog of people we're adding every day, so we'd love to get you there quickly. But the big thing is the right amount of capital. What's going to happen by the end of the decade will actually be accelerated within the next couple of years. So we're Sarama. We're helping advance animal communication.